6. Elections for special interest groups are calling. SIGs, elections, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time to vote for our leaders, June through August. From village to parish to district to nationals, youth, PWDs, elderly. It's time, go vote your leaders. No!
FOB!
Elections are supposed to be peaceful. Easy vote, okay?
Youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude for your steadfast leadership in ensuring peace and tranquility in Uganda. Your Excellency, the President, Kenya is witnessing a growing agitation among our youngest population, commonly known as Gen Z. Yesterday marked 1 year since the invasion of the parliament in June 25th last year. Yesterday, Kenya witnessed far-reaching confrontation between the security forces and the Gen Z protesters. I would like to understand, Your Excellency, how your leadership is preparing Uganda for potential shifts in youth engagement and activism, drawing parallels with the Arab Spring, which began in Tunisia and rapidly spread across North African countries, including Egypt, Libya, Syria, Yemen, and Algeria. Your Excellency, I am concerned about the possibility of similar Gen Z uprising spreading across Eastern Africa, including Uganda. In that context, is Uganda prepared to address these challenges, and what lessons do you believe can be learned to ensure continued stability and progress in our region, East Africa? Thank you, sir. The President.
Uprising, which is going on now in Kenya, but could happen also in other countries. If we share analysis and methods, we can be able to deal with this, because the problem with the youth is really part of the bigger problem of the whole economy. What we have advised these Ugandans is that Uganda has got a lot of natural resources, as you can see. Water, land, minerals, everything is here. So we have got a lot of resources and a lot of potential. But the problem is conceptual. Conceptual, how to develop these resources. And this is not strange, because in all societies, you lose a lot of time trying to decide what to do. Here in Uganda, in the last almost 65 years, where we started as a student movement in the 60s, our conclusion has been that, first of all, Africa needs to go from the pre-capitalist mode of life, because remember, if you look at these countries, especially the ones with a lot of natural resources like Congo, like Uganda here, many of them, you find the majority of the people are not in the money sector. They are not in the commercial sector. They are in what they call subsistence economy. I don't know about Kenya, how it is, but in Uganda, by independence, I think only 4% of the homesteads were in the money economy. And especially if the country is rich, if it has got a lot of natural resources, people just stay in the villages, eating free food. Then after that, even the ones who are in the money economy, are they in the money economy with echibaro, as we say? Echibaro is our Bantu word here for esabu, for kuchambua. I think this word would be kuchambua, analysis. To make an analysis and select enterprises which are profitable for the families. Because you see, you can grow, you can do activities like cotton. You find Uganda is producing a lot of cotton, but the homesteads producing the cotton are in poverty. Because first of all, to produce cotton properly, you need big land to do it on a big scale. I hear now that the people in the money economy are now 67%, 33% are still there, being fed by the others. Secondly, even when you wake up and you join the money economy, do so with the chibaro. Now, when you do that, the third question is, what are the sectors of the economy that can address those problems? Because when you're talking of the Gen Z, these grandchildren, you are really talking of 5 things which people mix up. One is peace. Peace. You must have peace. And peace means absence of war, but also either absence or minimal crime. Then you have peace. Then after peace, you need development. Development is referring to common assets of the people. The roads, the railway, the schools, the hospitals, the electricity, infrastructure, what people call infrastructure. Much of that is part of development. But part of the confusion, which is also caused by World Bank and these other groups, is that you can have that development, the roads can be there, the schools can be there, but you still have poverty. Because poverty is to the individual, to the family, to the company. Development is for all, but wealth is for either me or with the family or with the company or with the area, the zone. That's where poverty or wealth is. So apart from peace, the next word is development. But the third word is wealth. Are we emphasizing wealth enough? So therefore, must be clear that every family must be involved in wealth creation. Peace, development, wealth creation. Now, once you sort that one out, then what will happen? If the families are involved in wealth creation, all of them, and with the chibaro, with the sabu, kuchambua, the culturation, then you will now have another product called jobs. Because the young people are always talking about, that's what they are talking about, jobs. Part of what they are talking about, jobs. So jobs cannot come by themselves. Jobs will come up because I am a farmer. I have used my land to create wealth, cows, farming, what. And in the process, I can employ 10 people, 20 people, and so on. Where do jobs come from? Because where do jobs come from? They come from wealth. Wealth by whom? By mainly the private sector, or both Ugandans and outsiders who are coming, what they call foreign investors. The more you have, the better. But then, the other question we need to be clear about, in which sectors is wealth to be found? So that's why we tell our people here, please, there's commercial agriculture. Then the second sector is manufacturing. Now, this is where Africa, my daughter from Ukambani, where Africa now runs into problems. Because they produce raw materials. They end at raw materials. Now, this uniform I'm putting on is from here, from Nigeria, from Jinja. This uniform has got 6 or so job levels. You grow the cotton, that is jobs, that is money. The next stage is what they call ginning. You gin the cotton, where you remove the seeds from the cotton. Those are jobs, that's more money. Now, many of the African countries export cotton at that stage, at stage 2. After ginning, they tie the cotton into bales and send it to cleverer people to make money out of their cotton. Now, the next level, if you are not so stupid, is spinning. You spin the fiber into yarn. That is the level 3. More money, more jobs. Level 4 is weaving. They call it weaving, where you weave the yarn into fabric. More money, more jobs. Level 5, you print colors into the material. And that, you create more money, more jobs. Level 6 is tailoring to make the garment, to make the garment. Those are 6 job levels. Now, if you are exporting at level 2, you are donating all the jobs to the others. And also the value. Because a kilo of cotton would be like $1. But that $1 kilo, that kilo of $1 can produce 4 shirts with a total value of about $15. So for what Africa gets $1, some clever person gets $15 from the same product and creates more jobs. So this is now where I think part of the problem is exporting raw materials. Donating, I don't know why they don't call Africans in the donors conference. Because the Africans are the mega donors, donors of jobs and donors of money. Now, so that is sector 2, manufacturing. Sector 3, services. Services like hotels, tourism. That one, you get some a bit of tourism, but again, it gets disrupted because when the whole economy is not developed, even if tourism has come up, when you get a crisis, civil war, then tourism also collapses. But that one is another source of wealth. If you own a hotel, you own a transport company, that is wealth for you, but also jobs for you Africans. Now, finally, ICT. ICT is also another form of wealth and also a job creator. For instance, India earns a lot of money from what they call BPO, business processing outsourcing. Business processes outsourcing, meaning I can be an auditor here in Jinja, and a company in Canada sends me books to audit. I audit them here, send the work over the internet, and I'm paid here. It's called BPO. So that one is also another form of wealth which has come up. So therefore, to answer your question, no, but then when you answer that, then you will now come to another question which is lower down here. The one of why Africa is lagging behind. Somebody asked that question. I think it was Atohaire. Because now, if we wake up and we say commercial agriculture with the Chibaro, manufacturing with food integration, no more export of raw materials, Then very soon we shall get to another question. Is the internal market of Uganda or Kenya enough to absorb all these products? Of course, the internal market is not enough. Because like Uganda, which was like a failed state, because Uganda had collapsed. But when it woke up a bit now, already we have surplus of so many products. Sugar, surplus. Milk, surplus. Cement, surplus. Surplus of some maize. So therefore, the other question of integration is linked with this one here. To avoid this crisis of the children having no jobs, apart from the other steps, we must integrate seriously so that the wealth creators have enough market to produce and expand. Yeah. And therefore create jobs, create more jobs because you are expanding. Now, if you want to see how market integration is very crucial, you look at the United States and Latin America. Why is the United States successful and Latin America is in chaos, in crisis, in stagnation, perpetual stagnation? And yet Latin America has got a lot of natural resources. I think Latin America has got more natural resources than the United States. If you look at the rivers, the Amazon, the forests, the minerals, Latin America has got a lot of resources. But because of the market fragmentation, you can't easily succeed in business in Latin America. Yeah. You can't easily succeed. So that's how Nicaragua, small country like this, El Salvador. So Latin America is rich in presidents, but poor in everything else, and also natural resources, but poor in wealth because of the fragmentation of the business space. So that is answered question number one, the one of our Kimaka daughter. Now coming to why Africa is behind in the military, it is actually more or less the same. First of all, economic underdevelopment. And that's why we have been pushing for economic integration. Please integrate economically. If you don't, you will not give enough stimulus to the wealth creators to create wealth and therefore jobs. And slowly, economic integration is taking place. But that leaves another question. Even if economic integration takes place, it will address one of the challenges: prosperity, which is what we have been talking about in question number one. How to create prosperity for our people, produce a product and sell it. Sell it where? Within Uganda, but also in Africa. So therefore, market integration.
Without doubt, the lecture has enhanced our understanding on key areas, including an in-depth analysis of the conceptual approach on how to harness our diverse resources creating wealth for the people, and creating jobs for our young generations. The key sectors of wealth creation, including communication, commercial agriculture, beg your pardon, manufacturing, services, and ICT, and a call for the African economic integration for prosperity of the African people. Also important was the patriotism for prosperity of Uganda and Africans, promotion of politics of interest as opposed to politics of identity. And this has actually summarized our